Hear me clearly. You were made to create, not hustle. This is your sign to stop job hunting and start creating. Because the moment you align with what God made you to do, everything shifts. Fulfillment comes, peace comes, and provision flows. And by the end of this video, you will see why another job won't fix your frustration and how stepping into your God-given purpose will not only fulfill you, but unlock provision and freedom that you have been chasing. Confession time. For years, I was annoyed with my job, frustrated with my boss, annoyed with my pay, and convinced that if I would upgrade my education, got a better job, with better pay and better benefits, then finally I would be happy. But here's the truth. Even when I did that, I was still frustrated, still unfulfilled, and still waking up with that nagging emptiness inside. And that's when I started asking God, who did you make me to be? What did you put me here on earth to do? How can I be successful, happy, and fulfilled? And why is it that I'm working so hard, doing everything that society tells me to do to be successful, but yet I'm still unhappy and I'm still unfulfilled? And that's when God showed me that, yes, I was doing everything that society told me to do, but I wasn't doing what He made me to do. It hit me like a ton of bricks. My job wasn't the problem. My problem was alignment. See, our job can be a stepping stone, but it can never be our source of fulfillment because we weren't created just for a paycheck. We were created for purpose. So if you're doing everything like society told you to do, you got the job, you're making the income, you're showing up like you're supposed to, but deep down you still feel unfulfilled and constantly searching for the next better job, even waking up at 3 a.m., constantly counting sheep, wondering when is my life going to feel whole? When am I going to finally feel peace? Could it be the reason you feel this way isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you're not doing what you were naturally made to do? You were made to create, and until you're creating in the purpose that God made for you, there will always be a void, always that feeling that something is missing. Even though most of the times our jobs doesn't allow us to create in that one big purposeful thing that God made you to create, but our jobs can be a stepping stone. So that emptiness isn't coming from your job. That emptiness is coming from being out of alignment with God's purpose for you. You were made to create, and until you're creating in the purpose that God made for you, there will always be a void, that feeling of emptiness that something is missing. So that emptiness isn't coming from your job. That emptiness comes from being out of alignment with God's purpose for you, because true fulfillment doesn't come from hustling harder, but from creating what God made you to create. Until you start asking God, who did you make me to be? What did you put me here on earth to do? And how can this job simply be a bridge to my next level? You'll keep chasing the next job, the next raise, the next career move, and still feel empty. So hear me clearly. I'm not telling you to quit your job like most people do. Fire your boss, the quiet quitting message. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I am telling you to quit depending on your job to define you. Your job might just be the bridge that God is using to get you to your purpose. In fact, your job might actually be a stepping stone, a training ground, or the place that God is preparing for you. Your job might be the place where you meet someone who later becomes the divine connection for your business, your ministry, or your next level. Your job can even train you in skills that you need for your next level. And your paycheck might not be purpose, but it can fund purpose, and so much more. The problem isn't always the job. The real issue is when we're trying to make our job carry the weight of what only your purpose can fulfill. I know you have been feeling that emptiness. Like, maybe if I just switch job, maybe if I get something new, maybe then I will feel fulfilled. But hear me clearly, your job isn't always the reason you feel this way. The truth is, even if you land the perfect position with better pay, better title, and better hours and benefits, that emptiness will still remain, because the issue isn't your job, the issue is alignment. This is not for everyone, but for a lot of us right now, you don't need to seek another job. You need to seek God for who you are and what He created you to do. For some of us, yes, it might be time to get that new job, and that's okay. But even before you take that next step, Pause and seek God for what He created you to do, because a new job alone will never fill that void if you're out of alignment with your purpose. So hear me clearly. You were made to create, not hustle. This is your sign to stop job hunting and start creating, because the moment you align with what God made you to do, everything shifts. Fulfillment comes, peace comes, and provision flows. Your fulfillment isn't found in chasing promotion or running yourself ragged. It's found in your purpose, being who God made you to be and doing what God made you to do. This goes all the way back to the beginning. In Genesis, when God said, "Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and have dominion." That's not just a command, that's your design. And that's the kind of life you were created to live. And this is so deep, I can't just leave it here. I will have to do a deep dive on this topic, because once you understand this original mandate, it changes everything about how you see purpose, work, and fulfillment. So let me know in the comment if you want me to unpack this for you, and I'll prepare it for my next video. Because when you're in alignment with God's purpose for you, even your job can become a stepping stone, a training ground, a place of provision. Emptiness disappears and fulfillment flows. But when you're misaligned, you will always feel like you're dying inside, no matter how good your paycheck looks. And before I wrap this up, let me give a big shout out to those of you who already know what God called you to do and you're walking in it. I would love to hear your story in the comment and how this journey has been. And don't be afraid to share this, because your story can be a beacon of hope to another sister who needs to hear this. And if this word spoke to you, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone else who needs to hear it. And make sure to like and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss another one of these powerful and educational and just mind renewal videos. Go ahead and drop a comment. I am aligning with God's purpose for my life, and I don't need another job. I'm a creator. Remember, we don't hustle, we don't strive, we don't settle, we create. So let's create God's way. That is it for me today, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care.